What's up, guys? It's time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and this is
Piledriver.
And we are reviewing Extreme Rules.
The horror show Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, the horror show.
So, what do you think of the show just before we review it overall?
I would give it a B-.
Oh, that's a pretty good mark. I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B. It was entertaining. So what should we talk about first? The first match? Okay, so the night started out with the tag belts on the line, the New Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. And Cesaro and Shinsuke picked up the win. What do you think of that?
I think that's very good, but the thing I don't like about it is both men should be higher in the card than the tag tails. Oh, you guys, just one thing. Sorry if the lighting's weird. We're recording this literally right after we watched Extreme Rules.
Yeah, so we're in the theater and we got a lot of trying to light it up so you can see us. I was quite happy with Shinsuke and Cesaro winning the belts. I feel like the New Day wasn't really doing anything with the belts. It was kind of like one of those things where I usually have to remind myself who are the tag champions when it comes to both of the men's belts, actually, because you don't really see them on TV too much and stuff. So, I think like giving them the belts is a good kind of change, and now maybe something can come about with the storyline. I don't know what other face tag teams there are that they could fight now. Hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be Ricochet. Oh no, they're on Raw, right?
Loser house party.
Yeah, maybe that'd be a good one. Yeah, Lucha house party, and maybe
they always lose.
Well, actually, lately they've booked them better as far as how they look in matches. But yeah, no, I thought it was good. And it was interesting how they put, how Kofi ended up going through the dose tables. And he's taken a few pins lately too. So I don't know if they're planning on breaking up the New Day or what.
I hope
Xavier is apparently, timeline-wise, cleared or close to being cleared right now. So he could pop up at any moment. So, that's enough to keep the New Day interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so the next match. Do you remember the next match?
No. What was it? Was it Bailey?
It was Bailey.
Yeah, my thoughts on the match.
So let's say who the match was first.
Bailey versus Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's title.
Nikki came out looking real strong.
I just want to say for the last match, I feel like giving things a star rating because we can't do that on predictions. So the first match, I'd give 2.5 stars out of 5. What about you?
I would give it 3. What I liked about it, which is why I think I'm giving it a few more stars than you, or half a star more than you, is just the fact that the ending kind of came out of nowhere in a way. Usually it's like spot. You can tell the finish is coming soon. The finish kind of just came out of nowhere. So there were a lot of close calls, and the announcers were calling them close. But they were obviously not the official finish. So when the finish did come, it was like a shock. So it happened, and I had that moment where we looked at each other and we're like, "What?" Okay, so then
they didn't ring the bell for a while as well after they put
and they didn't celebrate. They put him through the table and they just kind of looked at him like, "Are you okay, man?" Instead of like celebrating themselves, right? So that's why it was like, no, it wasn't questionable, but it just didn't hit you. The only one who had hit was Kofi.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Bailey and Cross, I give that match 3 stars. So I'm gonna go with, I'll say it's a pretty solid match, but now I'm gonna go straight to the finish. So if you don't have the network, they might not show this on YouTube, So, this is how it went. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, Bailey threw one of the titles in the ring. Sasha was gonna hit her with the title, but Asuka put her in the Asuka lock. And then Bailey did something with the title. And then Asuka got the poison mist while the ref was distracted by the title.
This is the wrong match you're talking about right now. That's not the Bailey match. That's the Sasha Asuka match.
Oh my!
Okay, so I'm gonna take over. Can I take over?
The breast. So it's pretty simple. Bailey got like Sasha's breast knuckling, punched her in the face, and then did her like.
So she punched her in the ribs, and then she played up like a rib injury. So I wouldn't be surprised if her ribs were taped for a little while just to sell that rib injury, and then like the ref got distracted. So during this match, one thing that so I would give this match 3.5. I thought it was a really good match. I thought there was like good action in the match. The one thing that bothered me about the match is it was a title match and Sasha was wearing the belt. When it's a title match, the belt is supposed to be with the ring announcer and the belt.
It's called foreshadowing.
Yeah, but they do it. They always do that on all the matches where it's a non-title match. But when it's a title match, she should have tried to wear it, and they should have been like, the ref should have been like, no, give it to me. That one's on the line. Like they could have done something like that. Like she shouldn't have been wearing the belt. That kind of made me feel like, okay, Bailey's gonna retain. Like that kind of made me feel like if Bailey was losing, she wouldn't be wearing the belt, right? So I wasn't a fan of that, but it was really good. Nikki came out like looking real good, real strong. She got a lot of really good offense in the beginning. I like that. It was entertaining to watch. The finish was so the finish with the well, we'll call them like brass knuckles, but they're really boss knuckles because it says boss on them.
Legit boss.
Well, she wasn't using. She had
boss time,
and it was the boss ones that got thrown in there. So like that was a boss pretty time. Unique finish. It's just sad. Like you already talked kind of about the Asuka match. It's just like both of those two matches were ones that we were really looking forward to, and neither of them had like a clean ending. So that was I feel like we were a little. I didn't give more stars because I feel like I was robbed of like a clean ending at the end of a good match, which just tells you that this isn't the end of their storyline and they're gonna carry this on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what that meant.
You were looking at me.
Yeah, I can do both. And next match,
it's the eyeball for an eyeball, and I give this actually 3 stars. No, 2.5.
Okay.
Because I was into the match the whole entire match.
You were on the edge of your seat, and you had a lot of like anxiety. It seemed every time.
Because it's Rey Mysterio.
I know.
I would rather see like Jericho or like I don't know. Brock Lesnar get their eye pulled out 5 times. I was so
worried that an eyeball was going to get pulled out, and I was feeling the anxiety too when they would pull out the weapons, like the rebarb and stuff, and the kendo stick, and then breaking it off, like chopsticks going in there. What was going on?
It's gonna be the most memorable match of the pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought the Asuka finish was pretty. We'll be talking about for a while, but yeah, okay. So in the end, when the eyeball came out, it looked like you just got like kind of like 5 seconds of screen time of Rey Mysterio holding his eye, and you could see a little bit of a round circle that was white with some red on it. But that's like all we got. So there was no CG. They're obviously like edited. Like to me, it looked like they cut and they put makeup on Seth's eye, after it went into the steel corner because then it was like red and stuff. So I think like they cut, you know, like throw on some makeup, sell it a little bit, that sort of thing. So they probably like did a few takes of that, but it wasn't.
He's gonna have a black eye tomorrow, I think.
Maybe it didn't look like it was CG'd. Like they said that it was going to be like super CG'd, and you could kind of hide the whole eyeball coming out of your head thing when you're wearing a mask. Now the weird thing to me is that he's shoving Rey Mysterio's eye into the corner of the steel steps, so the eyeball should be going in, and yet it popped out.
Yeah,
but whatever. It's like we watched that second Godzilla movie yesterday, and the science and a lot of stuff in it was bothering me.
Everything makes sense.
And I was calling out some of the, you know, completely ridiculous things that were happening, and like the whole movie's kind of ridiculous, but I mean like the actual things that were happening to people in it, and so you called me out on like Let It Go. It's just a movie. So I let it go. It's just an eye versus eye match, which we're probably never going to see again. An eye for an eye, and the whole world is left with one man.
That time we saw it in AEW, and didn't we see?
Yeah. So
didn't we see it in WWE before?
Yeah, but this was the first time you had to remove your opponent's eyeball from the eye socket.
Santana and Mox wasn't like that?
It was like you just had to like poke their eye or like damage their eye. You weren't pulling it out. They literally said you had to rip out your opponent's eyeball. Crazy. But I would give this match a 3 as well. I thought the match was good, and there were like moments where, you know, you were kind of on the edge of your seat. There were quite a few moments in there where Ray got in some really good offense, and he's like going off the ropes and like just going after Seth and stuff like that. It just, I don't know. I might have enjoyed the wrestling aspect of the match more if I wasn't having so much anxiety about seeing someone's eyeball being ripped out. And in the end, it wasn't like that bad of a thing to see, but just the idea of seeing it throughout the match was very distracting for my mind. And therefore, I was unable to enjoy it as much as I probably could have.
Okay, the next match is...
The next match was that the...
Asuka?
The Asuka one, yeah. Because then it was the Drew one, and then it was the final one.
The Asuka match.
So you already alluded to the ending a bit.
So I'll fully say it before I was interrupted. So first I'm gonna give this match my star rating. I'm gonna give it... I really like the match, so I'm gonna say 3.75 or 4.
Okay.
Because the Edge Orton one, I really liked. That was like a solid 4.25 for me. So 3.75. My match of the night, spoiler alert. Don't expect it to be like 4 or 5. I'm being realistic here. So anyways, that was a banger of a match. It was amazing. And the finish, now I'll say it. Okay, let me think. Bayley gave the ref the title.
Bayley threw the title in the ring.
Yeah, Bayley threw the title in the ring to distract the ref so that Sasha could hit her. But, like, Asuka ducked, right? She ducked. And then she put her in, like, the lock. And then Sasha went for the cover. She kicked out. And then Bayley tried distracting again.
Yeah, and when Bayley is distracted the second time, Asuka had her in the lock, and she actually tapped out, but the ref didn't see it.
No. First, Asuka sprayed the poison mist in the ref's face.
No. Before that, Asuka had Sasha in the lock, and Sasha tapped out, but the ref didn't see it because Bayley was distracting.
Asuka tapped?
Not Asuka. Sasha tapped in the Asuka lock.
Wait, Sasha tapped twice then?
No, just once. That one time when the ref wasn't looking. When Bayley, we'll have to rewatch it. But whatever. Like then in the end.
Then I'll. Basically, the end is Asuka was trying to spray Sasha in the face with the mist, but then Sasha ducked. The ref ate the mist, and he didn't eat it. He was blinded. Asuka put Sasha in the Asuka lock. Bailey broke it up, and Bailey put Sasha on.
Bailey hit Sasha in the back with the belt.
Bailey hit Sasha?
I bet hit Asuka in the back with the belt.
You're confusing them more. Okay.
Well, you don't know what you're saying.
No, I do. And then
just say it then.
And then Bailey put Sasha on Asuka. She took off the ref shirt. She put it on herself. She counted. Ordered the guy to ring the bell like 16 times. And the guy never said Sasha was the new champion. Okay? But Sasha went away with the title, and they're celebrating like she won it. Which I think she might
And they
have.
played her music.
Yeah.
So it was really, really entertaining.
I like the finish, by the way. I want to see that.
Are you done now?
Yeah.
It was really entertaining when this all happened. Okay, so first of all, I would give this a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really good match. It was just like they're such good wrestlers, and like Sasha is so good at selling, and Asuka is so fast with her changes of moves and switching from one to the other. I was thoroughly enjoying the match. I did not love the ending because, again, the two women's matches that I was looking forward to, this one did steal the show, wrestling-wise and entertainment-wise. But I just like I would just one of them should have had a clean finish. So when Bailey was getting the ref into position, she was trying to pull the ref over to pin because she put Sasha on top of Asuka. She was like dragging him by the shirt, so it just looked like she was doing the whole heel, let me drag the ref over and make him count the pin. But then she started to rip his shirt off. So at first I thought it was an accident. So she pulled his shirt off. And I was like, okay, so she's going to wipe his face to get the mist out of his eyes so he could do the count. But then she put the shirt on. It was like funny, and it was entertaining, and it was different. But, and here's the but, I just can't completely love it like you loved it, just because I wanted one of those two matches to have a clean finish. Like, if just one of them would have had a clean finish, I would have been okay, but that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I think
just like Bailey would have done with the broth if she had one.
I will be okay with this. I will accept this ending completely and reevaluate my star rating of this match if on Monday Sasha shows up with the belt and they have their obnoxious celebration. And then the ref comes in, and the ref should come in with no shirt so that it seems like no time has gone by. Like, where's my shirt? She took my shirt. But anyways, the ref should come in and say, no, my ruling on the match is DQ. Asuka keeps the belt, and then they take the belt from Sasha, and Sasha just, like, double stares at Bailey's belt. Like, I want that belt. Like if they use this win to further the kind of tension between those two, but they let Asuka keep the belt, I will feel better about it.
And then I'll add on, do a rematch at SummerSlam, have an actual finish, make it like even better, give them a 2 out of 3 fall something stipulation.
All right, so the next match was Drew McIntyre against Ziggler. And the big thing was, like, what is Ziggler going to pick for this match? Well, first of all, for the ratings of this match, I would say that I would give this match, we knew it was going to be like a squashish match, but the stipulation he picked was so smart and so well thought out of. I would give this a 3 out of 5. The match itself was pretty good. So the stipulation that he ended up picking was he was like an Extreme Rules match. Except it's just Extreme Rules for me. Oh, and also, if you're counted out or you get disqualified, I win the belt. So it was really good choice. On his part, it was a really good choice. it's good and it's bad. Like, it's good in the sense that, you know, they made him smart. Like, he's a smart heel that's trying to win. But at the same time, it's kind of bad because it's like he had all the cards in his favor and he still lost the hand, kind of thing, right? But it was a pretty good match. Like, in the end, all it took was one Claymore as soon as he got the Claymore out. But there was a lot of like chair shots, a lot of like, you know, getting thrown here and there. Did they have kendo stick? I don't think they had kendo stick.
I'm not sure.
The kendo was in the Rollins match only, I think. But yeah, it was pretty good. Of course, he retained. I don't know what they're gonna do with Ziggy now. Like, I don't know what Ziggy's gonna do next on Raw. Nothing really happened for them to further any storyline, and nothing happened for us to kind of see some sort of prediction about who Drew's next competitor is, and I don't think it's going to be Ziggy. Oh, you did? What did you hear?
I heard he's fighting Orton next.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to see that because there's been a theme I've noticed. Everybody who's fought him, obviously since Brock Lesnar, has, like, deserved the championship. Like, heel Seth Rollins, he deserves a world title. Lashley, that's a no-brainer. He deserves one. Ziggler, also a no-brainer. He deserves it. But if he fights Orton, who doesn't deserve it, unless you're an Orton fan, he is on a okay run for himself.
Well, he's like a legend killer right now. Drew's not really a legend, so I don't see how that...
But what other legend is there to kill?
Ziggy's a bit of a legend.
So
who do you think would be his next...
Wait, I'm going to say one more thing about that. Randy Orton goes from beating Edge to Christian to the Big Show to Dolph Ziggler. Not on my watch. Okay. Anyways.
Well, who do you think should be his next opponent?
If he's willing to do it. I know he wants to retire. It'd really make people pissed at Orton if he beat The Undertaker at SummerSlam. Oh, that would generate heat.
Who do you think should be, McIntyre's next opponent then?
Seth Rollins again. He's on top of the world. He's eviler than he's ever been. And Drew could be like, I've had a bloody enough of you. And then, boom, SummerSlam, have like a Claymore for a Claymore match. I don't know. But anyways, I want to say one more thing about the match. So, the whole thing is Dolph Ziggler is a smart heel, right? He's a smart heel for picking that stipulation, for making it so Drew could get disqualified. There was one point in the match, we both noticed this. They were by the ring steps. Ziggler was fighting him. It was a 9 count. Ziggler went in the ring when he could have stayed out. Kept fighting him for like a split second longer.
Like McIntyre barely rolled in the ring at 9, and Ziggy went in the ring first. Like, instead, Ziggy should have stayed outside the ring and held him back. But, you know, I guess you could kind of say that, like, when you're wrestling and you're tired, you go into they kind of go into like their pre-programmed mode of wrestling, and that he hears a count, he's programmed to go in the ring, and he might have just forgotten.
And I'd be okay with it if Ziggler's whole thing wasn't that he's a really smart guy. Because that was a really stupid mistake. I wouldn't have made that mistake. Just have Drew check him in. Have Drew check him in the ring. I don't know, you could have...
Okay, so let's talk about the last match.
Oh, God. Okay.
So it was
this is all you gotta know.
Strowman versus Bray Wyatt, and it was the second style of Bray Wyatt swamp.
The Shrek swamp.
And it was a pre-taped match. It kind of, like, the beginning, especially like just the way it was filmed, reminded me of the Boneyard match.
Yeah.
I would give this one, as far as, like, so far they've been...
Wait, did I
3?
rate the last match? Did I?
Yeah, you said it was the same as me, 3.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's been 3 of these kind of pre-tape matches. There's the one tonight, and then the 2 at WrestleMania, right?
And the Money in the Bank.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So if we count the Money in the Bank.
Randall Keith, that was pre-taped.
Which Randall Keith?
The greatest match of all time.
No, but that was like a match in the ring.
How did you forget the greatest?
No. I mean like these pre-taped ones that aren't wrestling matches, the cinematic matches. Right? I don't really...
Are you counting the Stadium Stampede or no?
No, I'm just WWE.
Okay.
Right? It's just the 3, like if we don't count Money in the Bank, right? So out of the 3, I would say that this is tied with the Boneyard match for me. I know a lot of people really love like my favorite was the Cena Fiend one at WrestleMania.
The Boneyard one most.
Okay, I like the Cena Fiend one, and I don't know if it's because I'm a little bit older, so I've been watching wrestling for a long time, and it had a lot of throwbacks in it. So I enjoyed a lot of the throwback little biddies. Like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It was extremely entertaining for me. The Boneyard match was good. This match was really good. But I feel like this was better because it was less wrestling. It was more cinematic, and I feel like the Boneyard match had a lot of wrestling kind of street fight in it. And you know, if you're just gonna fight, just fight in the ring. I don't really need to see a ton of that in a cinematic match. So I just or make it a short cinematic match and it's all about fighting. So I didn't... Oh, I guess we could have counted the NXT one that they had, too.
That's at the bottom for me, though, sadly, the NXT one.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, so this one... So I thought this was better than that. Now, it was, like, the first 3 quarters of the match was really good. And then as soon as it kind of got to the point where Sister Abigail... and because Braun got bitten by a snake, so he's like hallucinating, and Sister Abigail turned into Alexa Bliss. That's kind of when it started going a little downhill for me. But it was still good. And then at the end, just like so many clips of them staring at the dark water that you couldn't really see, and then the lily pads, and it was like the same shot. It wasn't even a different shot of the lily pads. It was like the same shots of the lily pads over and over again. I don't know, like even like it was like playing Frogger. Like you just see the same lily pads. There's like 4 different types of lily pads. You keep seeing the same one. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. So I felt like they kind of cheaped out a bit at the end. But the story it told was good. But I don't know who won. I feel like Bray Wyatt won, but at the end the Fiend was standing tall. And he wasn't even in the match, though.
They say it's Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, so Bray won.
I guess technically he
and
won.
I like this, not because the match, like, I didn't really care for the match that much, no offense.
And where would you rank it in those 3?
I would put it number, if we're counting NXT, number 3. It's number 4 overall with Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, NXT, this.
Yeah, okay. So out of the 5, you would rank it 4th. Not counting Money in the Bank, you would rank it 3rd.
Yeah. And I want to say one thing about, you brought up John Cena. Just a little Easter egg at the end for all you who stayed till the end. Fun fact, the John Cena reference when he was in NWO wasn't just because of the heel turn. It was because in 2012, before we were huge mercs, there was like a giant rumor that Cena was gonna reunite the NWO, and it was gonna be a giant angle in WWE. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, seriously. That's why there are all those heel turn videos. That was the rumor. And also, my boy The Fiend's back, so the title's coming back to the Funhouse at SummerSlam.
The Fiend doesn't need the title, though. Like,
He's gonna win the title.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
It's almost a half hour.
Okay, all right.
Goodbye.
Well, that was our predictions, our review. We hope you enjoyed it. Later.
Peace.
Was that like a thing we're doing? Should we do like... Okay, like you're rushing me and now you're not turning it off, buddy.